Here is something nobody is talking about. No one expected Taylor Fritz to make it to the US Open, or even the semifinals for that matter. We all had eyes on Novak and Carlos, but it was Taylor Fritz who surprised the world by facing Jannik Sinner in the US Open tennis final. Even though Taylor lost in the US Open Tennis Championships, there's a saying that rings true: not everything you lose is a loss. Taylor might have been defeated, but his journey to the final was nothing short of incredible. How did he pull off such a stunning run? What's the story of Taylor Fritz, and how did he turn the loss into a positive experience? Stick around, because we're about to delve into every detail and answer all your questions right here, right now. On his path to the final, Fritz toppled two former US Open finalists. No. 8 seed Casper Ruud and number 4 seed Alexander Zverev. In the quarterfinals, Fritz faced Alexander Zverev, a formidable opponent known for his power and agility. The match was a gripping contest that highlighted Fritz's strategic prowess and mental toughness. He managed to outwit Zverev with a mix of precision serving and clever shot placement, securing his place in the semifinals. This victory was a significant achievement for Fritz, demonstrating his ability to compete against some of the best players in the world. In the semifinals, Fritz continued his impressive run by going up against Frances Tiafoe in an exhilarating All-American clash that spanned 5 sets. Despite the intense pressure and high stakes, Fritz managed to edge out Tiafoe, sealing his spot in his first Grand Slam final. His performance in both matches was a testament to his growth and readiness to compete at the highest levels of tennis. In his Open final, Taylor faced one of the best players in the world of tennis, Jannik Sinner. While the game was intense, but it was Jannik Sinner who stood victorious in Jannik Sinner versus Taylor Fritz in the US Open tennis final. Jannik Sinner has taken the tennis world by storm, capturing his first US Open title with an extraordinary display of skill and determination. Facing off against Taylor Fritz in the final, the world number 1 showcased his mastery on hard courts, securing a decisive victory with scores of 6-3, 6-4, 7, 5. Despite a late surge from Fritz, Sinner's performance was nothing short of spectacular. Meanwhile, Taylor Fritz's journey to the final was equally remarkable. His impressive performances throughout the tournament and Taylor Fritz's best shots showcased his skill and tenacity, culminating in a thrilling 5-set battle against Frances Tiafoe in the semi-finals. Though he fell short in the final, Fritz's run was a testament to his growth and potential, marking a significant moment in his career. Although Fritz was disappointed after losing the US Open tennis final, as he admitted he let down a lot of people. But if anything, he was hopeful for future, as his impressive performance may help him to qualify for the Nitto ATP Finals. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe. Just like Fritz, we're committed to never giving up, and we'll keep bringing you fresh content. Your support helps us stay motivated. Taylor Fritz has surged to 5th place in the PIF ATP Live Race to Turin, climbing 5 spots after his impressive run at the US Open. By becoming the first American man to reach a major final since Andy Roddick at Wimbledon in 2009, Fritz has significantly boosted his chances. His victories over Alexander Zverev, Casper Ruud, and Frances Tiafoe, followed by his performance in the final against Sinner, have strengthened his position. This strong showing at the US Open puts him in an excellent position to qualify for the Nitto ATP Finals, aiming for a return to the event where he previously reached the semi-finals in 2022. Before we peek into life of Taylor Fritz off the court, let's look at his personal life and who were his tennis idols while growing up. Born on October 28, 1997, Taylor Fritz grew up in Rancho Santa Fe, California with his family. He is the son of former professional tennis players Kathy May and Guy Henry Fritz. His mother, Kathy, was a top 10 player, and his father was also a professional tennis player. Taylor started playing tennis at the age of 2 and attended Torrey Pines High School, where he won the CIF title as a freshman. He later switched to online schooling to focus on his tennis career. Fritz's early tennis idols were Pete Sampras and Juan Martín del Potro. Beyond tennis, he enjoys playing golf and is a fan of Manchester United and the Los Angeles Chargers. From the moment Taylor Fritz aspired to become a professional tennis player, he was driven by the desire to uphold the great American legacy established by legends like John McEnroe, Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, and other tennis greats. Taylor Fritz, currently ranked World No. 7, Taylor Fritz embarked on his professional tennis journey in 2015, debuting on the ATP circuit at the Nottingham tournament. By the end of that year, he had already made his mark, breaking into the top 250. His ascent continued in 2017, when he cracked the top 100 and made his debut in the Australian Open main draw. That same year, Fritz reached the final of an ATP 250 event, becoming the youngest American to do so since Michael Chang in 1988. In 2017, Fritz also won his first Grand Slam match, defeating Marcos Baghdatis at the US Open. By 2018, he had surged into the top 50 and made a notable quarterfinal run at the Indian Wells Masters, marking his best performance in an ATP Masters event. The 2019 season was a breakthrough year for Fritz as he claimed his first ATP title and ended the year ranked 32nd. The 2021 season saw Fritz advance to the Indian Wells semifinals and ascend to the position of American #1 player by November. However, 2022 was arguably his most successful year yet. He won the Indian Wells Masters, triumphing over Rafael Nadal in the final, and secured his third ATP title at the Tokyo Open. By the end of the year, Fritz had risen to number 8 in the rankings, qualifying him for the ATP Finals. Fritz began 2023 on a high note, helping Team USA clinch the United Cup title with a victory over Italy in the final. He faced a disappointing early exit from the Australian Open, falling in the second round. At Acapulco, he was knocked out by Tommy Paul in the third round after both players struggled with the humidity. Despite this, he achieved a career-high ranking of number 5 in February, becoming the first American man to reach the top 5 since Andy Roddick in 2009. Though he was the defending champion, Fritz was eliminated from the Indian Wells tournament in the quarterfinals by Jannik Sinner. At the 2023 Dallas Open, he reached the semifinals, where he was defeated by eventual champion Wu Yibing. Despite this setback, he secured his 6th ATP title at the 2023 Atlanta Open by overcoming Aleksandar Vukic. Fritz's consistent performance also saw him reach the quarterfinals of the 2023 US Open, where he lost to eventual champion Novak Djokovic. The beginning of 2024 was promising for Fritz as he advanced to his first Australian Open quarterfinal, defeating Greece's Stefanos Tsitsipas before falling to Novak Djokovic in a 4-set match. His maiden success of the year came with a victory at the Delray Beach Open, where he bested Tommy Paul in the final. Currently, Taylor Fritz is guided by coaches Michael Russell and Paul Annacone, the latter having previously worked with tennis legends such as Pete Sampras, Roger Federer, Tim Henman, and Sloane Stephens. Despite 9 years on the ATP circuit, Taylor Fritz is still in pursuit of his first Grand Slam title. He has reached the quarterfinals at the Australian Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open, and the third round at the French Open, but his quest for a major championship continues. Now let's talk about the life of Taylor Fritz off the court. As of March 2024, Taylor Fritz's net worth stands at $3 million. He has earned over $14 million from his on-court performances and is seen as the leading figure in American tennis for the next 5-10 years. Fritz has a commercial partnership with Nike, which provides his on-court apparel, including headgear, shirts, shorts, and shoes. The Austrian sports equipment company head supplies his rackets, and he has been associated with Swiss luxury watchmaker Rolex since September 2019. Additionally, Fritz collaborates with brands like Optimum Nutrition, Lavazza Coffee, Waterdrop, and Maestro Dobel Tequila. He is also an investor in the esports team Rek Global and owns a stunning house in San Diego, California, while residing in a luxurious home in Rancho Palos Verdes. Taylor Fritz owns a stunning property in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, where he resides in a luxurious home. Details about his house and other properties have not been fully disclosed. While Taylor Fritz does not run a personal charity, he has actively participated in various charitable efforts. In May 2020, he raised $1 million for the No Kid Hungry organization. Additionally, in August 2021, Fritz contributed his equipment and time to the non-profit organization Second Serve, helping introduce underprivileged children to the sport of tennis. Since 2020, Taylor Fritz has been in a relationship with Morgan Riddle, a social media influencer. Before this, Taylor was married to Raquel Pedraza, a former WTA-ranked player who last competed at the 2015 Australian Open. Pedraza holds dual citizenship due to her Mexican heritage from her father. Taylor and Raquel began dating as teenagers and were married in July 2016 in Taylor's hometown in California when he was just 18 years old. They welcomed a son, Jordan, in January 2017. However, their marriage ended in divorce in December 2019, 2 years after Jordan's birth. In January 2020, Fritz began dating Riddle, and they have been together since. They appeared together in the 2023 Netflix series Breakpoint and have traveled extensively, including a trip to Italy for the 2022 Nitto ATP Finals. Riddle frequently accompanies Fritz on his travels and has expressed her goal of making tennis more appealing to the younger generation. Here are some intriguing facts about this star before we wrap up. Taylor Fritz isn't just a skilled tennis player, he also boasts a substantial social media presence. Through his engaging content and behind-the-scenes glimpses, he has built a dedicated following that cheers him on both on and off the court. Tennis runs deep in Taylor's veins, thanks to his family's rich history in the sport. His mother, Kathy May, was a formidable player in her own right, achieving a top 10 world ranking in the 1970s. Taylor's success on the court is a proud continuation of his family's legacy. But Taylor's talents extend beyond the physical courts. In 2020, he showcased his skills in the virtual realm by participating in a Mario Tennis tournament during the stay-at-home slam. Partnering with influencer Addison Rae, Taylor and his team emerged victorious, securing a $1 million donation to the charity No Kid Hungry. This achievement highlights not only his versatility, but also his commitment to giving back. As we conclude, Taylor Fritz's journey at the US Open Tennis Championships has been truly remarkable. Despite falling short in the final against Jannik Sinner, his impressive run, including victories over former finalists Casper Ruud and Alexander Zverev, and his thrilling battle with Francis Tiafoe, showcases his incredible talent and resilience. The story of Taylor Fritz is one of perseverance, marked by his US Open tennis success and his rich family legacy. Off the court, his engaging social media presence and charitable efforts, like his victory in the Mario Tennis tournament, further highlight his character and versatility. Although the Taylor Fritz US Open final result wasn't in his favor, the match between Jannik Sinner versus Taylor Fritz was remarkable. His performance and dedication continue to inspire. Subscribe for more updates and stay tuned as Taylor Fritz continues to make an impact in the world of tennis and beyond. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you the latest content.